seen two 4x4 heats. This is our final relay over 4x400. Of course, all those 4x1 heats this morning as well. It's going to be the women's 4x400 closing out the track action. Unless we get that rerun for the Turkish men 4x100, they might get to go out there on their own, see if they can get one of the non-automatic spots. Norway will go in lane 8. Oppengard, Sletten, Kloster and Vold. Good work there from the Norwegian squad to cheer on Lynn Oppengard as she's out in lane 8. Lane 7 will be the Czech Republic, their male counterparts, just winning that second 4x4 heat. Kretsidikova, Hichova, Hoffmanov and Vondrova, big hitter on the end of their quartet. Hungary will go in lane 6, led off by Nidhadzi there, waving to the crowd. And we'll see Barta Keri, Rapai and Molnar completing their line-up. Lane 5 will be Belgium. Naomi van der Broek off first, and Helena Ponette, Pauline Coquet and Camille Laus. Spain go in lane 4. Yeah, men look pretty good in that opening heat. And their 4x4, Eva Sanchian, Kaiser, Segura and Hernandez. I think it's Great Britain and Northern Ireland took the bronze medal at the World Championships, the top European team in the women's 4x4. Zoe Clark, Emma Pippi weren't part of that medal-winning quartet, but Nicole Jürgen and Olivia Nielsen were. Lane 2 is Italy. Polineri will lead them off, then she'll hand over to Lapudo, Troiani and Mangioni. Completing the lineup in lane 1 is Poland, the defending champions. They won in Berlin 4 years ago. It was a brilliant kind of 50 minutes or so for Justyna Święty-Ercetic there. She will go on leg 3. She took the individual title and then just seemed to ride that wave into the 4x400, pulling her team all the way through to the gold medal. So reminder, top 3 automatically qualify, then another 2. Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the squad with the fastest season's best by quite a bit, 3 minutes 22 seconds. Polish team just a bit, 9 seconds off their best ever. They have struggled a little bit. They weren't quite in tip-top form in Oregon. Have they saved a little bit here for this? We saw Anna Kielbasinska and Natalia Kaczmarek run really well individually. The Polish team look like they're adrift in lane 1, but that's a long, long stagger for the Polish team to unwind. At the moment, the graphic on our left-hand side giving Zoe Clark of Great Britain and Northern Ireland the lead. As they move into lane 1, they'll stay in lanes. In fact, the second leg runner will stay in lanes for another 100 metres, so this is an awfully long stagger. You often have to rely on graphics and some brilliant help being given to us by the technology in the battens. But to the naked eye, it's who hands over first, and it is Zoe Clark to Emma Pippi of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Belgium next, Helena Ponette. A good handover with Van der Broek, and they're going to make their way towards the 800-metre break line. That's what's used in the open 800 metres, and they'll glide into battle as they navigate positions into lane 1. 400-metre runners individually, normally out there on their own. They don't have to get used to that. They use all that experience from their relays, and it was very smooth, not too much pushing and shoving. And Emma Pippi of Great Britain and Northern Ireland has got quite a big lead. Spanish athlete Bakisa is on a storming second leg, putting the Belgians under pressure. But here come the Poles. It could be a messy second changeover. Nicole Jürgen and Emma Pippi are going to be relieved that they're out of that. And the rest of the field spread out across the track. Thankfully, all the athletes staying on their feet, all the batons handed over, no problem. The order the teams hit the 200-metre mark, they're halfway through their leg, and that is the order that they're lined up on, the athletes that will be receiving the baton. But there was a lot of change in that second 200 on the second leg, and that led to a little bit of chaos. And to be honest, the Polish team were storming down the home straight and then just had to battle with a lot of traffic, and that pushed them back into 5th place. Justyna Święty-Ercetic working hard to get the Poles back into contention. The Belgium team are back in second place, and it's a strong finish again from the Spanish team. Just a repeat of the second leg. Nicole Jürgen of Great Britain and Northern Ireland working hard to stay in the front. Belgium have saved a little bit for their second leg. That's Kukut. The third leg running really strongly in the final 50 metres. And that was a good changeover from Spain and the Czech Republic and Poland. Poland have got Natalia Kaczmarek on this fourth and final leg. You'd expect Kaczmarek to glide past these other athletes. There she goes. She takes Hernandez of Spain. She takes Vondrova of the Czech Republic. And now she's only got the Belgium team in her sight. Surely Great Britain home and dry. Lavia Nielsen hitting the 200-metre mark, some 2 or 3 seconds behind the rest of the competitors. Belgium have got to hold strong here. There's going to be some big charges from Natalia Kaczmarek and Vondrova of the Czech Republic. All to fight for in the closing stages. Top 3 go through automatically. Great Britain and Northern Ireland some 30 or 40 metres ahead. The Belgian team, as they so often do, saving a little bit for the last 50 metres. That's Camille Laus of Belgium is going to hold on for second place. Natalia Kaczmarek bringing the Polish quartet through into third place. And Lada Vondrova only able to settle for fourth. The Belgium women's team do this every single time, save a tiny bit for the last 50 metres. They fight to get a good position at 200, then they seem to relax and gather, and just when you think they're going to get swallowed up by the other nations, they go again. Brilliant tactics from the Belgian quartet. And the Polish team look like they're having a bit of a debrief. So I think that's going to be discussing that third changeover that was super messy.
Well, the Brits were so far ahead once Amma Pippi really got into her running that it was a fairly relaxed last couple of legs for Jürgen and Nielsen. But as you say, really impressive from the Belgians, particularly after the men slightly disappointed but have made it through to the final. I think also the women have gained from being part of the mixed relay quartets and developing a team that trains together and works really hard for one another. Poland, well, I thought that just like she did at the World Championships, Małgorzata Holub-Kowalik was a little bit disappointing on her relay leg, drifted back into fourth and almost to fifth. But luckily they did have Sveti Ercetic, again, not had the best season, the defending champion, didn't make the final. And then Kaczmarek, who has run sub 50 seconds this year, just to make sure that they got through in third place. Otherwise, it could have been very close with Poland, who also won the relay team. The relay, last time we had these championships in Berlin in 2018, beating the Czech Republic and Spain. They'll have to wait to see if their times are good enough.
Yes. Good runs all round, and I think that the Polish team, they were moving themselves really well into a good position. The second leg athlete, Holub-Kowalik, ran really well, but the advantage, the ground that she'd made up, just almost got neutralised in that scrappy changeover. Athletes were crossing all across the track, trying to find the athlete they were meant to be handing over to. Zoe Clark and Amma Pippi, not sort of in the A-string 4x4 quartet, but I think with those two runs there, we could be having a bit getting into that team. They gave the Great Britain Northern Ireland team a huge advantage, and that just allowed Nicole Jürgen and Lavia Nielsen to relax and not have to worry about all the drama that was going on behind.
Well, I was going to say, I think I probably was about to say the same as you, Hannah. It was just a terrific last leg from Natalia Kaczmarek. She's a sub 50-second performer, and she's really almost bailed the Poles out there, out of a very difficult situation. We were talking earlier about the Poles and speculating on how well they were going to do. It doesn't look like they're really firing on all cylinders here. They've got other people to come in for the last leg. Justina Sveti Ercetic not showing the same form as previous seasons. Iga Baumgart-Witten, again, she made the final of the 400 metres, but perhaps just a little bit down on the form of previous seasons. Yes.
On to our final track race at this morning session in day 5. So the second heat of the women's 4x4. So Great Britain, Belgium and Poland qualify automatically. Who can join them in the final? The Netherlands have got a strong squad on paper. Let's see who they've decided to field in this opening heat. Finland, Purisen, Bass, Pukkanen and Hallinen. You can see themselves on the big screen. Switzerland, Lemons, Niedenberg, Farr and King. Here we go in lane 6. Lane 5 will be Greece. Oliti, Ferrer, Morta and Nafaki. Smart and Wade all round. Slovenia go in lane 4. Led off by Zupin, then onto Simoncic, Bogevich, and then Anita Horvat on the final leg. She fell in her 800-metre heat. She's got something to prove, the Slovenian national record holder. Lane 3, Alicia Schmidt, lead-off runner, so popular in Germany and with this crowd. Mona Meyer will go on the second leg, and Vasoli on the third leg, and Luna Thiel will complete their lineup. France go in lane 2. They're the second European team at the World Championships. Lacoste is there, Caillet and Brossier. Completing the lineup in lane 1 are the Irish quartet of Sophie Becker, Phil Healy, Rashida Adeleke and Charlene Maudsley. There are the Dutch quartet. I missed their names, so just to update you, Boomer will be the lead-off leg runner, and then Lieke Klaver vying for the title of the busiest woman at these European Championships will go on lane 2. And then both De Witt sisters, great to see them here. They've struggled with injury, I think, in the last couple of years. Laura De Witt first, and then Lisanne De Witt to complete the lineup. First leg underway. As we've said before, this whole leg will be run in lanes. That looks like a fast start for Switzerland. They've opened up a gap over Greece already. You can see the difference in the stagger there. As expected, the Netherlands on the outside going super fast. A graphic revealing that it is Ireland that have had the fastest first 200 metres. Sophie Becker is very good over 200 metres, and she has got the endurance to make it last over 400. But Netherlands out in lane 8 and Ireland on the inside in lane 1, having good runs so far, but Sopna Lacoste of France coming back at the Irish athlete ever so slightly, and Switzerland looking like they're moving through. Long stagger. Let's see who hands that baton over first. It's going to be super tight. Ireland raise it first, hand it over first, and then it is Switzerland and Netherlands. Phil Healy of Ireland on the tight inside lanes. You can see the dangers outside her, and she's gliding past the rest of the athletes. Lieke Klaver of the Netherlands is incredibly quick. Whether it's 200 or 400, she's a formidable competitor, so we'd expect Lieke Klaver to glide past Phil Healy. Let's see who hits that first 200. And it is Lieke Klaver of the Netherlands, so that will mean that her next athlete she's handing over to, Laura De Witt, will be on the inside of the handover lane. So Lieke Klaver should have an easy run here in lane 1. Phil Healy rallying well. Bitterly disappointed with her individual showing. This is much better from Ireland's Phil Healy. She's coming under pressure from Switzerland. But Ireland doing well to hold on to third place at the moment. Lieke Klaver hands over to Laura De Witt. Swiss team just handing over to Anina Farr first. They're in second place at the moment, but it is Rashida Adeleke, 5th place individual athlete for Ireland with a new Irish record, who's already gliding past the Swiss team into second place. Tall Adeleke doing everything she can to eat up the ground on Laura De Witt ahead of her. Laura De Witt holds the lead through 200. That will keep the Netherlands on the tight inside line, the shortest route. All the other teams are going to have to battle behind. Rashida Adeleke doing everything she can to give the Charlene Maudsley of Ireland a fighting chance in the closing leg. Adeleke with a brilliant leg for Ireland is pulling them into the lead, striding away from Laura De Witt. Laura De Witt coming under pressure from Farr of Switzerland. It's going to be Ireland first. Charlene Maudsley goes off in the lead. Switzerland in second with Sarah King, and Netherlands Lisanne De Witt giving chase. Host nation Germany in third at the moment. Can they do anything to get back on terms with these athletes? Luna Thiel in 4th place, out of the automatic qualifying spots, chasing hard down the back straight. Lisanne De Witt swinging wide on the back straight, trying to get herself ahead of King to give herself a shot at second place in a short inside line. But it is Charlene Maudsley of Ireland striding away with the win. They've got 30 or 40 metres over the rest of the athletes. It's a brilliant run from the Irish quartet. Netherlands look strong in the last 60, 70 metres. Lisanne De Witt looking brilliant as she strides away for second place. Swiss team doing well to hold off a fast-finishing German quartet, and Lysander Witt catching Charlene Maudsley in the closing stages. I think Charlene Maudsley probably thought she was home and dry, and Lysander Witt carrying so much momentum. That will give them a very handy lane in the final. The Dutch quartet, if you've got a good lane and you've got good runners in the first few legs and you can get yourself out of trouble, that could be significant. The Netherlands versus Poland versus Great Britain could be a fascinating battle.
Yeah, and delightful, particularly for Lysander Witt, who was the bronze medalist 4 years ago. As you said, she's struggled a little bit with injuries over the last few years. I believe it's the plan actually for her to come in for the final at the World Championships, but the Netherlands didn't qualify, frustratingly for her, and so that was the end of her competition. But Ireland, fantastic, really inspiring, I'm sure, with Anna Leakey setting that national record in her final, really buoyed the quartet on. And Phil Healy, as you said, kind of the opposite for her, trying to get through to that final after disappointing individually. She said she didn't come all the way to Munich to run her worst race of the season. Switzerland making it through in third, and just having a look at those times coming up, looks like the Czech Republic and Spain are faster.
Wonderful, emotive response there from the Czech Republic and Spain. Delighted to make the final. German quartet, good season's best, but not quite enough to make it in. It was a really brave last couple of legs from the German quartet. But the Netherlands, when you think they're missing Femke Bol, Great Britain were missing a couple of their top competitors. Poland got Anna Kiel-Basinska to bring in, and Bamgert Witten. Really tough one to call. Lieke Klaver, 2 individual events, and now in the heats of the 4x4. Femke Bol super busy as well. Ugh, too close to call between all those teams.
Well, I think the Netherlands might just have the edge if Femke Bol has got anything left in her legs, of course. So she's going to have been running 4 races already in the individual 400 and then over the barriers. The Dutch have got great backup runners as well, as you talk about, Lieke Klaver and the De Wits as well, so that's a great quartet. I think the Poles are going to have to raise their game, as I said. I think they're just a little bit below their very best. If I was a betting person, I'd put a little bit of money on the Dutch. Also, big surprise for me, not seeing Germany or France in the final. That's a big turn-up, I think. So there we see. Once again, confirmation of the results. Netherlands, Ireland, Switzerland. And a big shout out for Phil Healy on that second leg for Ireland. That was an absolutely terrific run from Phil Healy. Alex was talking about the fact that she did underperform in her individual 400 metres, but came back with aplomb to really bolster the team. And it was her that was really so crucial in propelling Ireland into the final. Germans, well, left to have a bit of a post-mortem about what went wrong with their team.
It's going to be, I think.
However, Germany has had so much success. Come on, Germany, give the rest of the continent a bit of a chance.
You're right, Phil. They've had a smashing day.
Crucially, though, I spotted that when Laura de Wit finished her leg, she did impede the German runner, who had to go into lane 2 or possibly lane 3 around her. So maybe we'll see another replay of that, but just watch out for that.
Oh, well done, Alex. I didn't spot that. That could be very, very important.
There we can see, heartbreak. I thought that Czech team looked a little bit less happy than they were when the times popped up on the screen. I don't know if that replay's gone out on the big screen, but I think that will be disqualified with that lane infringement, and that will see the Germans into the final. That's why they're smiling, and they've lost the smiles of the Czech team.
Time for 2 pulls. And indeed, Vlad Lech has passed his final round. He knows he's qualified.
Summary of the qualification into the final: Great Britain and Northern Ireland, bronze medal winning team at the World Champs, unsurprisingly topping the table there. And that disqualification for the Czech Republic for a lane infringement sees the host nation Germany into the final.
Shout out for Aino Pulkkinen of Finland, because she was actually in both relays there. Or I wonder what point Finland's